We didn't use any violent means. They were even lying about his acoustic weapons.
Which I've seen. I've seen that. The videos show it was used, but it is legal.
No,
in other
the
countries.
video shows that it was not used.
Okay.
It was not used at all. It was not used at all. It was not moved from the place behind People's Assembly of Serbia. Not at all. And we were ready. We invited FBI and FSB. And we said that we are ready. You show just one small evidence that it was used. I'm not the president of Serbia anymore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. And they didn't do it, of course, because it didn't happen.
I was under the impression that used us. Obviously, I don't know for sure. And
I'll tell you why.
There's a video of people like running on the side. You remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember. That's what they organized, like stampede from both sides and for 2 moments. But no one was putting his hands on their ears. If you remember that, if you notice that, it's just another trick made by Color Revolution masters.
Yeah,
and I'm going to write a book about it, which is going to be a best-selling book in the world, believe it or not.
We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Last comment on the protests, because I do want to go back to Serbia's history. There's a lot there to discuss. I know we've talked about what could be done more than what you've already done, but it seems you said you've met most of the demands, the documents. They said they want the documents to be published. You've published the documents. They wanted charges dropped against students that were arrested.
I have already done that. I did that Clemency Act, even against some criminals and criminal professors from Niš, that dean, which I regretted a lot, to tell you the truth, because she's a real criminal, but I did this Clemency Act, and they also said, in a way, everything's fulfilled regarding that demand number 3, if I'm not mistaken.
And then there's just suing people who beat up protesters. That was, you've acted on that as well. And of course, increasing the funding for university students.
That's what they publicly accepted.
Accepted that you've done.
Yes.
And then in Novi Sad, they want the resignation of the mayor, Mayor Dudic.
He resigned. Even the prime minister resigned.
Yeah, I'm aware of the prime minister as well. So this is why look, kind of the final point I want to make.
But you need to know something.
Please.
This is just a type of game they started to play with us and with everybody. They don't really care about it. They want to overthrow me, myself, and that's it. And that's the only reason why they are not finishing their protests.
Your term ends in 2 years. They can vote for whoever they want in the ballot boxes, correct?
But they don't want to vote.
But what's the argument against it?
Because they cannot win any elections. They cannot win any elections. Because if you really believe that there was 300,000, if you really believe that there was 1 million or 1.6 million, which I saw in different type of social networks, posts or whatever, then something's wrong with you. Something's really wrong with you. It shows that you live somewhere out of reality and you don't want to accept the reality and everything else. I do accept reality. I don't lie to myself. It's a huge number of people that is protesting all over Serbia. Huge. And I do respect that. And I know how it goes, and I know that today numbers are much smaller than they used to be 2.5 months ago. Much smaller. Even 2.5 to 3 times smaller. But nobody wants to recognize it because they don't want to live in reality. They don't want to live in reality. It was like a protest tourism, because there are rich people. You had in Niš around 11,000 people coming from Belgrade. Nice walk, nice stroll, good tourism, fantastic Instagram images, great thing. So what? And it was the other way around, many people coming from all over Serbia to Belgrade. Okay. So what?
But for the other students that genuinely are frustrated with different aspects of the Serbian economy, of the systems that allow this economy to function, with those people, you do empathize, and I think you said it earlier, you do empathize with their position and say, so is it fair to say, look, you've already taken steps, you've listened to the demands, you've acted on all of them.
I did understand the message.
Exactly.
And no doubt that everything that was true, everything that was sincere, every single worry that was expressed in an honest way, I had to understand, and I understood. And I know what we need to do, but I'm not going to pretend, and I'm not going to flatter them because I would have better approach to them and they will like me more or hate me less or whatever. No, I'm saying the truth. There is something that I can accept immediately, that I can accept easily, but there are things that are not true at all, which I cannot accept. And I gave to myself that kind of freedom to speak freely, to say what I really think, and I don't care. As you said, I have 1.5 years, less than 2 years anyway,